whole team has really gelled, maybe because of number 30.
Gogolak now will try one from the 46-yard line. It is good. It is good. The second one today for Gogolak to increase the Giants' lead now to 34-17 with 1 minute and 42 seconds to play.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or share the video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, thank you so much for taking time just to watch the video. I greatly appreciate it. Well, the Giants made another move. Now, you gotta give Dave Gettleman some credit, okay? He tries, all right? Unfortunately, ever since he's been here as GM of the Giants, okay, he's been like standing in the batter's box, all right? And there's been a pitcher on the mound, okay? And every time a pitcher throws the ball, that's Dave Gettleman trying to make another move on the offensive line, all right? He's made a lot of moves since he's been here. Drafting guys, getting free agents, trading, cutting this and that, and blah, 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 blah. All, I mean, guys are coming, going left and right. I mean, the amount of guys, okay, that he's signed for offensive linemen is just freaking staggering, all right? So he's trying. The only problem is, every time a pitch comes in, that's another move he's making on the offensive line. Now he has another, he got Billy Price here, so that's another pitch coming in. The problem is that most of the pitches that have come in before his offensive line moves, all right, he's swung for the fences, but he's missed. Swing and a miss, okay? You know, he's trying to hit home runs and maybe just get a single or anything, trying to get something, a solid hit, you know, a solid, you know, offensive lineman, but most of the time he's swinging and missing, okay? It's just sad. But he is trying. Unfortunately, when if it all crumbles apart, all right, it's all going to be on him, all right? So he's trying again, okay? So you got to give the guy some credit there. Now, I was kind of wondering why B.J. Hill was like a healthy scratch for the game against the Patriots. It just didn't make much sense. I mean, because he's not a starter. But in the second half, you know, they were going to put the second string and the third string in there. And he's like, as far as I know, second string. I was kind of wondering, why wasn't he in there? It just seems a bit odd. Well, apparently this was all happening, you know, behind the scenes that we didn't know about. And during the game, okay, Daniel Jones is pressured 37.5% of the time, right? Which happened to be the third highest pressure rate on a quarterback this whole preseason, which is absolutely unbelievably pathetic. Daniel Jones played 2 quarters. He came in for 1 game, and it just happened to be the third highest amount a quarterback was pressured this preseason. Unbelievable. So Dave Gettleman, you know, this was happening before the game, you know what I mean? But, you know, Dave Gettleman made another move, okay? We have a nice, a little, you know, I don't say abundance of defensive linemen, okay? So we were, you know, maybe we can move one to maybe get something, okay? And possibly, I think we had to trade away to get Billy Price, the center from Cincinnati. We had to trade away B.J. Hill, okay? And I believe it's a 7th rounder. I think it's the next year's draft, which might wind up being the pick that we got from Ryan Santoso from the Panthers. So, I mean, maybe we really aren't losing much of anything. But, you know, he's Dave Gettleman's trying, okay? So, you know, Billy Price, okay, what do we get? Well, he was absolutely fantastic in college, right, from Ohio State. Cincinnati picked him number 21 overall, okay, in the first round of the 2018 draft, all right. He was from Ohio State, all right. He was number 21. He was the second center taken that year. The pick just before him, pick number 20, the Detroit Lions, okay, picked Frank Ragnow, all right, who's a center from Arkansas. That was Matt Patricia's first selection ever from, you know, when he was the coach of the Detroit Lions. but unfortunately, he did phenomenal. He was so good in college. Okay, he played all 2014, all 2015, all 2016, all 2017. He was phenomenal. Ohio State. All right. But he's had, since he got into the NFL, he's had a pectoral problem and he's had foot injuries, which have kind of hampered him quite a bit. All right. His grades, being in the pros, okay, from PFF, all right, are not very, eye-opening. His first season was a 55.6 for a rookie. Yeah, okay, all right, it's not too bad. 2019, it was the injuries started coming on. His grade was a 41.9, and last year he was a 50.7. So, but the nice thing about it, okay, he's flexible, right? He can be a right guard, he can be a center, or he can be a left guard. Very important. Okay, in college, right? In 2014, he played his freshman season. He played right guard and left guard. He graded out Pro Football Focus at a 69.9 for a freshman. Pretty impressive from Ohio State. 2015, okay, he played left guard. He graded out a 79.7. When he was a junior, okay, at Ohio State, he played right guard. All right, he graded out at a 78. 2017, he played center. All right, he graded out at a 74. So 1 year he was a left guard, then he was a right guard, then he played center. Right, like pretty much like the whole year. I mean, he could play all three positions in the middle. And in college, he was phenomenal. He was a unanimous All-American in 2017, his senior season when he was playing center. He won the Remington Trophy 2017, which is the trophy that goes out to the most outstanding center, all right, in the country, in college. And I went to him. So, I mean, he was good. He was so good, as I said. How good was he? He was so good. He's a center, and he got taken in the first round, right? So, he's 6'4", 308 pounds, right? And he's only 26 years old, right? So it's not like, we're getting somebody, just trying to, hang in there for another season. Somebody, getting traded all over the place, and, this is his 7th different team, and, I mean, he's only been with the Bengals, okay? So, he's young. Can he stay healthy? The way the season's been going for the Giants, who the heck knows? But in his 42 NFL games that he's played in, okay, he's had 11 starts at center. He has had 7 starts at left guard. He had 1 start, okay, at right guard. All right, now the thing is, all right, what does he do? Where does he come? I mean, is he taking, we don't know exactly sure what's going on with Lemieux. All right. Is he going to take Lemieux's spot? Is he going to slide in maybe at center? Nick Gates maybe slide on over to guard. I mean, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But pretty sure, I know he's healthy now, okay? Pretty sure that, because we traded him, we traded away B.J. Hill for him, okay? He's going to be playing. All right, as I said, we'll just have to wait and see where it's going to be. Now, also, I'm going to go over this a little bit more, okay, and toward the end of this video. But, maybe taking over, maybe he might be a guard, or maybe if he don't take over guard, maybe Gates takes over guard, and we have Lemieux with the other guard, meaning Will Hernandez might wind up becoming a cap casualty. Cap casualty at the end of this season. I said, once again, more on that toward the end of this video, all right? So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think as right now, all right, he's healthy, okay? And, knock on wood, he stays healthy, and we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I said the couple of seasons that he was relatively healthy. I mean, he graded out at least a 50, which is not obviously unbelievably fantastic, but we'll see what he can do. Rob Sale's a phenomenal offensive line coach. Pat Flaherty, we got Wilkerson in there, so let's see what they can do, all right? you got to try something, right? So, once again, Dave Gettleman's trying. Hopefully something works out. Now, this is going over. This is the B.J. Hill was from the 2018 draft. Okay, so we lost the J's. Okay, we lost the R.J. and we lost the B.J. Okay, we lost R.J. McIntosh, who was the 5th rounder. All right, in the 2018 draft from a defensive tackle from the U. All right, Giants let him go a couple weeks ago. And then we lost, so we just traded away our 3rd rounder, B.J. Hill, all right, the defensive tackle. He was from North Carolina State. Now, he had a nice rookie season, B.J. Hill, all right. He had, I think it was like 48 tackles. He had 5.5 sacks, I believe it was. 3 of the sacks, came in, I think one game which wound up being against the Bears, right? He's only had 2 sacks, all right, in the last 2 seasons combined, all right? He's not a Judge guy, but he is a Gettleman guy. So, I mean, sometimes just because, the GM drafts him doesn't mean, it's obviously up to the coach, to put the guy in there to play. And, the past 2 seasons, he just hasn't, I guess, at least I guess Judge doesn't seem too fond of him anyway. But they say he might have been a cap casualty. But anyway, with this might possibly open up the door for David Moa or Raymond Johnson III to make the roster. Or they both might wind up making the roster because of Danny Shelton's injury, which we don't know how bad it is, if it's bad enough, and they got to put him in the injury reserve or something, then maybe both of those guys might step in there. But, I mean, Raymond Johnson's done pretty darn good this preseason, and if he makes the roster, I'll be very happy for him. And David Moa, too, the guy's hustling his rear end off, too. So, if he makes the roster, I'll be very, very happy for him. So, we'll just have to wait and see. As I said, we don't know. 4 o'clock today, 4:30 today, we're going to know what 27 guys the Giants let go. We'll find out who the final 53 are. Very, very, this video is coming out at 8 o'clock in the morning, so in 8 hours from now, we'll find out exactly, right? But I said, the 2018 draft, okay? Now, this is a big year, all right, because this is the 4th year. Now, we got Saquon. We signed him for the 5th year. All right, so smart move, very smart move, very affordable. The 5th year, very affordable. He's going to have to stay healthy this year, prove he's worth it, and next year as well too. Then we might sign him to a long-term contract. But the rest of the draft class. Okay, some are gone, and some might wind up being gone by the end of the season. Okay, it's good. Now, we're talking about, because this is the 4th season for this draft class. So after this season's over, any of these guys that are still on our team, if we're going to keep them, we're going to have to start anteing up, okay? And we ain't got much to ante up next year, right? So that's why a lot of these guys might be gone, like Will Hernandez, all right? We got him relatively on the cheap right now. Next year, he's going to want to get paid, all right? So this might be a move, getting Billy Price in. If we got Lemieux, and maybe you put Gates over at guard, or you can put Price over at guard, and you got Gates in the center. Okay, so now you can let Will Hernandez go, let somebody pay him $5, $6, $7 million a year, and you don't have to because you'll have Lemieux, you'll have Gates, and you got Price. Okay. Now, a 3rd round selection, okay, in the 2018 draft. Lorenzo Carter, unfortunately. I mean, especially, sadly, especially if he has a nice year. I mean, if he gets hurt again, it'd be like, why, sign him, But, it's going to certainly hurt his wallet if he gets hurt again, okay? But, if he has a good year this year, okay, and shows what he can do, I'm just throwing a number out there. Say $8 to $10 million, Just throwing a number out there, okay? The Giants, they're going to have a hard time trying to sign him. Somebody will sign him, sure, absolutely. A young stud like that who can, possibly, get some sacks, get some pressure from the outside if he can stay healthy, Sure, somebody will sign him, but it may not be the Giants. Okay, then it was obviously we have B.J. Hill. All right, after this season, B.J. Hill I think was on basically like a $1 million a year contract. Okay, but after this fourth year, he's going to want to get paid. He's not going to make a boatload of money, but even if he wants $4 or $5 million a year, all right. Once again, going to be a little difficult for the Giants to do that. We don't have to pay him $4 or $5 million a year. Somebody else can, all right. But if we got David Moa on the cheap, if we got Raymond Johnson III on the cheap, let B.J. Hill go, and we keep the other guys who are doing pretty darn good this, in training camp. Okay. Then there's that Callaway. I mean, what a moron. What an idiot. I mean, he's happy. I mean, if he makes a team with the Browns, he's on a good team. I mean, he sure looked good playing against the Giants, in the preseason game, but what an idiot. So I'm glad to let him go. And then I said once the same thing with R.J. McIntosh, we let him go. If he was still on the team, we weren't going to sign him after this year anyway, because he ain't going to make too much money anyway on the outside, but, we weren't going to sign him anyway, I'm saying. But this is a big year for this draft class, okay? Because anybody's still left on the stand, so like Will Hernandez, Lorenzo Carter, we're going to have a hard time trying to sign those guys. But that's why having all those draft picks for next year is going to be huge, all right? And maybe if we got to let Will Hernandez go, we got Billy Price. Might wind up taking a spot. But then also, talking about Jabrill Peppers. Going to be able to sign him. Evan Engram. I don't know if we're going to want to sign him. But, so there's definitely some guys, that, on the bubble this year, that, the contracts are up, and I don't know if the Giants are going to be able to ante up to paying these guys, right? Well, speaking of Evan Engram, all right, Darius Slayton, apparently from what I'm seeing, his injury to his foot or ankle is not too bad, and hopefully they might expect him back in practice this week, which would be phenomenal news. Because then at least if you can get Darius Slayton now, because Darius Slayton's done pretty darn good this in training camp. He's done pretty good. Okay, so if you got at least you got Sterling Shepard, he's done very well too. Darius Slayton, at least that's a start. Hopefully nobody else gets hurt. But talking about Evan Engram, okay, his calf injury is still a little unknown. He apparently yesterday he was going to go and see a doctor and kind of take it from there. It's a calf injury, so I'll have to wait and see. And it's not something you want to really take that lightly. It could be bad. It could end the season. He could be out for a couple months. So we'll have to wait and see. Now again, let's not forget Victor Cruz. Okay, 2014, he tore his patellar tendon, I think it was, against the Eagles. All right, it was like week 6, I think it was, in 2014. Well, then he tried to come back. He rehabbed, and I think he was good to go. And in training camp, he wound up torn. I think it was a left calf. He tore like a muscle or something in his left calf. I mean, I don't know how you do that, but he managed to do that. And then he was, trying to, I guess, work on coming back. And there was a point in time, I think he was trying to come back. I was reading like week 12 against, at the time, the Washington Redskins, okay? He was trying to come back for week 12, all right? And it just wasn't working out for him, and they wound up coming to the decision that having surgery on his left calf was his best option. So he hurt himself, I think it was in August, okay? And he was trying to come back for week 12, all right? Okay. So we're looking at probably about 4 months. He ripped a muscle or something in his calf, his left calf. 4 months later, okay, he still wasn't okay. And they had to have season-ending surgery. So basically, you know, I mean, 2015 was gone. He came back for 2016, which pretty much was like his last season. And he caught 1 touchdown pass and all. But, I mean, you know, what an absolute horrible waste of unbelievable talent. Unbelievable. I mean, 2014, hurt himself against the Eagles, and then the calf. I heard it was like he hurt himself, and I remember following. Oh, okay, just like they pulled a little muscle or something in his calf, right? A couple weeks or something. And I'm like, the weeks kept going by, and I'm like, where the hell is he? And then like a month would go by. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's just this. So, I mean, if it's something like that, yeah, let's knock on wood. I mean, hopefully that's it. But I mean, if it's something like that, you might have just saw the last game that Evan Engram ever played for the Giants. I hope not, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. At least, I mean, you know, Caden Smith has been looking good, and hopefully Kyle Rudolph. I mean, with Kyle Rudolph, once you get him on the field, I mean, he's been pretty much, I don't want to say injury-free, but, you know, past like 6 seasons, I think he's only missed like 4 games due to injury. So if we can get him on the field, and Caden Smith, all right, I don't want to say that, you know, they're certainly not as explosive as Evan Engram is, but, you know, Caden Smith and Kyle Rudolph, I mean, I think we can work with that. You know, and then we have to try to get the rest of the wide receivers healthy. I mean, if at least we can get Darius Slayton out there and Sterling Shepard, at least that's a start. And then hopefully here and there, maybe we can get some other guys in there and then kind of take it from there. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!